The modern world today is made up of countries that are divided into regions, filled with cities and towns where people live and work. However, there are groups of people that resist this cookie-cutter lifestyle imposed by the present. Meet the nomads. The Irish Travellers, also known as Pave or Nlucht Suil. The walking people are one of the best-known groups in the English-speaking world, moving around Great Britain and Ireland. Around 31,000 travellers live in Ireland, with smaller populations in the UK, Canada, and the United States, where they are known for their traditional family networks that provide protection against outsiders. Many travelers live in modern trailers today. However, many have moved into housing due to a lack of land or for health and education reasons. The Kochi or Kuchi is usually called the last nomadic tribe of Afghanistan. They make up around 1.5 million people that are mostly known as herders in central and southern Afghanistan. Over 100,000 have been displaced due to natural disasters such as flood and drought in the past few years. Traditionally apolitical, the Kochi or Kuchi have been affected by decades of conflict in Afghanistan, forcing thousands to try to settle with little to no government help. Kochis or Kuchis are pastoral nomads belonging primarily to the Gilji Pashtuns. In the southern, western, and northern regions of Afghanistan, they are also referred to at times as Maldar, herd owner. Some of the most notable Gilji Kochi tribes include the Karoti, Niazi, Anda, and Nasser Ahadzai. The Sámi people of Scandinavia. Hailing from Scandinavia, the Sámi people make up between 60,000 to 100,000 people living between Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia's Kola Peninsula. The Sámi people support themselves with fishing, fur trapping, and sheep herding. However, they are probably known the best for reindeer herding, which is part of their cultural identity. For traditional, environmental, cultural, and political reasons, reindeer herding is legally reserved for only Sámi in some regions of the Nordic countries. History. Western Uralic languages spread from the Volga, leading to the emergence of the Sámi in Finnish Lakeland around 1600 to 1500 BC. Archaeological findings in Lapland and Finnmark hint at early human presence, though direct ties to the Sámi remain unproven. Relationship with Scandinavians. The Sámi's relationship with Scandinavians evolved over centuries, with limited contact until aggressive Scandinavization policies in the 19th century. Prior, Norwegian and Swedish authorities largely ignored the Sámi, viewing them differently only in the 19th century. Southern limits of Sámi settlement. Debate surrounds the historical extent of Sámi settlement. While earlier views placed them no farther south than Leon until 1500, recent archaeological finds challenge this, indicating a Sámi presence in southern Norway and Sweden during the Middle Ages. The ancient Khoisan people. The Khoisan people are a tribe of hunter-gatherers that are believed to be the oldest human group inhabiting the southern part of Africa for over 20,000 years. Also known as the Bushmen, some 100,000 Khoisan people still live today as hunters and gatherers, despite colonialism and modernization putting their traditional lifestyle at risk. History. Origins. Khoisan ancestors migrated to southern Africa over 150,000 years ago, with two population clusters emerging. The San, hunter-gatherers, originated in southern Africa, sharing DNA with Hadza people and Booty Pygmies. Late Stone Age. During the Late Stone Age, San populations expanded, marked by a proposed migration 20,000 years ago spread in Eastern African languages. Historical period. Khoisan entered history through Portuguese contact, facing challenges during colonial expansion. The Greek people emerged from intermarriage, and the 18th century Cat River settlement played a pivotal role. Discoveries. A 2023 study supports the multi-regional hypothesis for the Khoisan's genetic history. In 2019, 8,000-year-old Khoisan carvings with spiritual significance were found. Violence against the Khoisan. Bushman wars resulted from San dispossession. In the 18th century, Khoisan became wage laborious, leading to societal changes. The Hera and Namakwa genocide claimed 10,000 lives. In Botswana, San faced forced relocation, denying access to water and hunting. The Khoisan languages unite through categorized into KXA and Khoi families. They include dialects like Amko, Kung, Koko, and others. Hadza language is tentatively associated with the Khoisan group. The Bedouins of North Africa. Keeping their heritage alive. The Bedouins are one of the most well-known nomadic groups that exist today, with a population of over 25 million in northern Africa and the rest of the Arab world. Traditionally, they have dwelled in the Arabian and the Syrian desert, as well as the Sinai and the Sahara. Although many Bedouins have adopted a sedentary, urban dwelling life, many of them keep and promote activities that are part of their cultural heritage, such as camel riding and camping in the desert. Saudi Arabian Bedouin traditions, rooted in Qahtani and Adnani descent, have dwindled due to modernization and sedentarization policies. Once a majority, the nomadic lifestyle has sharply declined. Syrian Bedouins shifted from herding to standard jobs in the late 1950s. During the Syrian civil war, many became refugees, seeking shelter in neighboring countries. Palestinian Bedouins from the Negev faced displacement during the 1948 war. In the West Bank, forcible relocations and settlements impact their nomadic lifestyle, while in Gaza, their numbers are diminishing. Israeli Bedouin citizenship, granted in 1954, has grown to 210,000. Urbanization efforts, controversial plans like Wabu Bosma and Prora, and issues with unrecognized villages raise concerns about cultural preservation. Jordan's Bedouin tribes, migrating from the Arabian Peninsula, support the monarchy. Recent discontent stems from economic challenges and rising costs, but Jordan avoided significant unrest during the Arab Spring. The 11th century Arab migration, led by Bonu Hillel and Bonu Sulaim, Arabiized the Maghreb, impacting culture and linguistics. Bedouin dialects persist in Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Tripolitania. Egyptian Bedouins in Sinai face challenges from resort development and changing environments. Land rights issues persist, and military operations impact their involvement in smuggling. The Egyptian revolution brought some freedom, but conflicts remain. Colombia's Nukak people. Uncontacted until the 1980s. The Nukak people live on the edge of the Amazon jungle in the Guaviare region of Colombia. They are one of the last nomadic tribes in the Amazon basin, with less than 2,000 of them living from fishing, hunting, and food gathering. Until the 1980s, the Nukak were classified as uncontacted people, and since then they have been decimated by disease and been displaced by guerrilla fighters and coca farmers. Since their first interaction with the new tribe's mission and other foreigners in 1981, Nukak numbers have decreased in terms of malaria, measles, and pulmonary ailments. Coca growers, left-wing FARC guerrillas, right-wing AUC paramilitaries, and the Colombian army now occupy their territory. In 2006, over 80 Nukak people left the jungle in search of assimilation in order to preserve their culture. One of the migrants, Pia Pe, stated, "We want to join the white family, but we do not want to forget the words of the Nukak." Morbi, a leader and Nukak Spanish speaker, committed suicide by consuming poison in October of 2006. Friends and the National Indigenous Organization of Colombia reasoned that he did so out of despair because he couldn't obtain supplies, or a safe return for the Nukak to return home. The Amazigh or the Berbers. The problem with borders. The Berbers or the Amazigh people are a family of nomadic groups from northwestern Africa, predating the arrival of the Arabs in the region, united by tradition and the dozen or so Berber languages. Some estimate that there are over 35 million Amazigh people, with most of them living in Morocco and Algeria. However, political borders and government suppression have affected their traditional migration routes. Berbers are thought to have inhabited the Maghreb region in northern Africa as early as 10,000 BC. Cave paintings dating back 12 millennia before present have been discovered in the Tassili Enadja region in southeastern Algeria. Additional rock art has been uncovered in Tadrat Akassus in the Libyan desert. Between 600 and 2000 BC, a Neolithic society characterized by domestication and subsistence agriculture emerged, and predominated in northern Africa's Saharan and Mediterranean regions, the Maghreb, as portrayed in the Tassili Enadja paintings. Prehistoric Typhonor inscriptions were discovered in the Iran region. Before King Massinissa unified Numidia, there were several succeeding separate nations, Masili. Iran's 1 million nomads. 100 years ago they were 1/4 of Iran's population. Today, still around 1 million nomads live in Iran, representing 1.25% of the total population. This means that Iran has one of the biggest nomadic populations of any country, together with Asian countries such as Mongolia. These tribes include the Bakhtiari, the Basseri, and the Hadavand, among many others. The biggest of these are the Qashqai with over 400,000 members. They are a Turkic origin tribe who tend to dwell in central and southern Iran. The Bakhtiari is one of the largest and most prominent tribes of Iran. They live between the region of Khuzestan and Chahamahal va Bakhtiari. Yes, that's right. The province is named after them. They speak a dialect of Persian called Lori and are Shia Muslims like the majority of the country. Much of Bakhtiari culture is based on their seasonal migration and the fact that their primary source of income is their livestock. Thanks for watching Straight Post. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe for more content straight to your feed. See you in the next video.